Right, the tools you'll require to make a hair rig is, first of all, you'll need a looping tool, a latch tool, some good braid scissors and also some forceps. What is a hair rig? A hair rig is a piece of equipment with a hair loop at one end, a hook, some line and a swivel at the other end. Right, first of all, the components you need then is a hook, your choice of size, silicone tubing, some line, again your choice whether it be braid or monofilament, a rig sleeve, a swivel and finally a rubber bead. Now we come to the stage where we're going to explain the jig. First of all, we've got a hair loop holding tool here which can be adjusted for your hair length that you require. Here is a hook clamp. Here we have got the hook length adjuster which moves in and out to adjust your hook length. Here we've got a latch tool holder, and then finally we have got the swivel pin. We place the hook simply into the hook clamp like so, leaving, I just tighten it off the clamp, and that holding the hook, and as you can see there we have got the shank sticking out. Okay. The next part we do is actually put on a swivel onto the swivel post, and then using a small rubber bead we place the bead on top of the post like so to stop the swivel popping off. Now, using a latch tool we prepare the rig sleeving. First of all we slide on the rig sleeve, which is to cover the knot on the swivel, and also a little small piece of silicone tubing also goes onto there, and that is prepared for use later. The next stage of making the hair rig is to make the loop. To make the loop, simply get some fishing line, any type or strength that you need, and hook it over your finger like so. Then, using this tool, which is a loop making tool, I actually place it around, it's like a little Loch Ness monster's head. I place it around his neck and give it one twist, and then I bring it back, feed it into the loop, just hold that so it doesn't come out, and just pull the two bits of the line together, and I'll just slip it over, and hey presto, there we have the loop made. Right, the next thing to do then is replace the loop onto the loop holding pin like so, and then we can now cut off this surplus. Using some good braid scissors you can cut it up quite close and take off the surplus. The next thing we do is measure out the length of line that we require by passing it round the swivel pin post, bringing it back and cutting the line with the braid scissors approximately level with that knob there, like so. The next thing is to tie off the hook by placing the line through the eye of the hook, pulling the line so as it fits nicely into the hook groove, keeping the line nice and moist. Do 6 winds down the shaft, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 2 winds back up the shaft, 1 and 2, and then just a matter of now placing the line back through the eye like so, and pulling the line, and that is known as a knotless knot, and that is the business end done. The next stage is to feed on the silicone tubing and the rig sleeve onto the line. To do that, you're using a latch tool. You simply hook the line into the latch tool, sliding the rig sleeve up until it closes over the loop, and then just sliding both pieces onto the line, pulling the line through, and there we have the two pieces fitted. The next thing we do is slide this piece of silicone tubing over the hook to protect the winds. The next stage is to tie on the swivel by threading the line into the eye of the swivel, like so, pulling the line not too tight, just nice, just a little bit taut, and placing the latch tool in the latch tool holder there. Now, to tie on the swivel, what we do, we wind the line round, and the first wind, if you notice, actually traps the latch tool in position. What we have to do now is 6 more winds. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and now we have to pull this piece of line through the first one by using a latch tool, by simply hooking the line into the latch tool, lifting the latch tool out of the holder and pulling it through like so. The next thing we do is we take the end of the line, pass it back through the loop, and then all we have to do now is to tighten the knot up. Make sure that the knot is nice and moist, okay, and at this stage, if you notice, the line has gotten a little bit slack, but that's not a problem, because all we do is release the screw and then just take up the slack. The next thing we do is to fit the rig sleeve by simply pushing the latch tool through the rig sleeve like so. Notice how I've pushed the rig sleeve up so the latch tool is just about to close. Placing the surplus line into the hook, slide up your rig sleeve like so and pull the line through. What we do now is simply place the rig sleeve onto the swivel like so, slide it up, and all we have to do now is cut off the surplus. Getting my braces, I just pull the little line and then I just snip it off, and there is the hair rig made. Notice that the line I've cut is a good 10 to 12 centimetres there, so no way is that going to slip out of the eye. The next stage is to unadjust the hair length adjuster screw, like so. We can pop it back to there, pop off the bead, like so, it's a good fit. Take off now and then release the hook clamp, take off the hook, and there is the hair rig made. So there is our hair rig completed, with the hair there, the hook and the swivel, okay, and that's it. And as I say, you can use any size hook you want, any line type or strength, okay, and making these rigs can save you money. Thank you.